guys, and welcome back to another video. My name's Destiny. I do book things here, and today we're going to talk about Legendborn by... oh, I can't even think of her name now. It totally went out of my head. I'm going to put it beside me. We're actually going to do Legendborn and Bloodmark together. This story follows Brianna. Brianna lost her mother tragically, and she applies to an early admission program at her mother's alma mater and gets in. And so she's 16 and goes to college for the first time. Legendborn opens with Brianna being a normal freshman. Everyone's going to the quarry to jump off the cliff, or just get drunk, support or celebrate the school starting again and everything. Her and her friend decide, let's go, be teenagers. And when they get there, they're all hanging out and everything, and then 4 football players get into it and start a fight. Everybody runs off because the police are coming, and freshmen are not supposed to leave the campus. She was not supposed to leave. It's actually punishable by expulsion. So she could get kicked out of school before she ever starts. And when she goes to leave, she sees the 4 football players fighting, but there's also this big black mass above them, and she's like, what the fuck is that? And then she meets this dark-headed dude who's like, you should leave now. And she feels every thought in her head leave, and all she can think is, I should leave, I need to leave. Finally she comes over and goes, the fuck was that? And she sees this dark-headed guy and this other girl fighting this black blob, and then the black blob turns into a demon as longer she stares at it. And she's like, the fuck is that? What the fuck is going on? And so finally she goes to leave and gets caught by the police. She gets dragged into the dean's office the next morning. Her best friend's livid with her because she got caught too, trying to make sure Brianna was okay. And they both end up with peer mentors, people who have been through what she went through, to try to keep her on the right track and keep her in school. Her mentor and her grow close, and Brianna starts to figure out something's not right. The dark-headed boy shows up again, and this time he is saving her life because she ends up getting hunted down by a hellhound. And he takes her to a healer and gets her all healed up and everything, and she goes, the fuck is going on here? Something's going on here. I'm going to figure it out. And that's how both of them start. These books are so good that I listened to the first one, felt absolutely head over heels, told myself, I'm not starting the second one yet. I have a list of audiobooks. We're going to go down them in a stack kind of formation. That didn't happen. I got one more book in and thought, nope, I want Bloodmark, and went to it. Obviously, Bloodmark picks up after the events of Legendborn, and now shit has exploded, and that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to spoil anything. I'm going to give you 3 reasons you should read these books. 1, it has representation out its ass. Not only do we get the African American representation because Bree is black, you also get the gay representation because her best friend is a lesbian. Do you know how much I love Alice? Alice is my new crush. I love Alice. She's amazing. Then you also get, not only, this story is set in Carolina, so it also has history. If you're a history buff, I think you would really enjoy this one. It is a King Arthur retelling, and it weaves what we were taught in school, the whitewashed history, with the African American history as well. It tells both sides, and it has to deal with both sides. And Brianna is stuck in situations and spaces, that's what I'm looking for, spaces that are traditionally white, and she is definitely confronting a lot of racism that she's feeling, because when she figures out what's going on, she is the only black person they've ever had in this space, and so she is definitely fighting against all of that. These books do such a wonderful job at showing what black women go through on a daily basis, and how Brianna tries to challenge it. And it's so good. It had the discussions in it are just chef's kiss. I think it's perfect for teenagers. I would even say young teen. I would say anywhere from 13 up, because the love scenes don't get too steamy. And it's definitely like a fade to black YA kind of situation. But I love these so much, and I want to go into so much more detail for you guys, but I'm afraid I don't want to spoil them. And like I don't want to give too much away. I will say that I wish I had these books growing up. I wish we had YA like this when I was growing up. I realized earlier today, I was scrolling on, I think, Pinterest, and it showed like YA heroines from the early 2000s or whatever, like 2000 to like 2018, 2017, and it hit me, they were all pale skinned, like 90% of them. It listed Katniss, it listed a couple I haven't read before, but Clary, didn't have Freya. I was trying to remember who all was there. Like all of the dystopian ones. Trish. She went by Trish. The Divergent series. It had the Ugly series. Vampire. It did list Vampire Academy, I believe, but they were all white. Like none of them. There was no diversity there, and these books just make me happy for diversity. If you have read Bloodmarked and Legendborn and loved them, absolutely loved them, I highly recommend picking up Dread Nation by Justina Ireland. And it has a second one. I can't think what it is for the life of me right now. It's not behind me, is it? Let's look. I think it's in there on my other favorite shelf. Yeah, it is. I highly recommend picking up Dread Nation. Both of them have the historical aspect. Dread Nation is about what if instead of Civil War, Gettysburg and the Civil War happening, all the people dying, and we moved on, what if they got up and were zombies? And now everyone's fighting zombies. We follow our main character. She is in school to learn to fight zombies. She's looking to get a job coming out of school as like a protection for rich white families. And she ends up finding out some stuff that she shouldn't. And crap happens to her from there. But it literally is like a history retelling, twisted in through a black lens, and it's so good. So if you like Legendborn, I highly recommend that one. It's not as fantastical as Legendborn is. There's no superpowers. There's no she doesn't have like a superpower or anything. She's literally depending on her own wits. But I really highly think you would enjoy it as well. But yeah, I think that the further we're getting into the 2020s, it is showing that we are getting so many more diverse stories and so many more opportunities to learn about not only our history but others as well. And I think it's something that we as a book community have been giving more attention to, because honestly I picked up Legendborn thinking, because it's so popular, and I knew if I reviewed it and Bloodmark that it would probably get a lot of views, it would probably get a lot of attention, that video would get a lot of attention, this one in particular. But I'm so happy that it got the shout outs and the recommendations that it did, because I absolutely loved it and I can't stop singing its praises. It was so good. My favorite quote from the entire thing, let me have notes in front of me. My favorite quote was, "We ran for so many reasons. We ran to protect ourselves. We ran so we would not die, so that our daughters could live." And that is so, it hit me in the gut. It's so good. It also talks about grief. Like I said, Brianna lost her mom, and she is really trying to heal through that grief. And when she figures out what's going on, she thinks that they had something to do with what happened to her mom. And she genuinely tries to figure out what happened to her mother, but also still grieving her mother. It was heartbreaking to watch her go through it. If it's triggering for death of a family member, I would probably try to skip this one, or wait till that's no longer a trigger for you to pick it up, because it does talk a lot about grief and her going through it and trying to heal and do the best she can. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. I love these. I highly recommend. I hope somebody picks them up by recommendation. I will try to link a couple other reviews below. There may be more critical than mine is, because I don't usually do a whole bunch of reviews. I am not as critical as I want to be in my reading. We're getting there, but yeah, that's about it. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.